Hi. I had a really interesting dream, and in the past 20 days and now, I've had almost, I think this would be the 7th near-death experience. Actual death experience, I don't know anymore. Over the last year, I've had little more than 30. I'll explain it all someday, once I figure out how. I had a dream today where I was in this different city that had way more spacey technology. Way more. It was like if every superhero city you've ever heard of, all the superhero places, all the Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, everything, like on just one giant planet. One big place. I was flapping around over there, doing my thing. And then I felt my heart, and I couldn't breathe in, and I couldn't really breathe out, so I was just kind of making these breaths the entire time, and I felt in my dream body, and then I felt my physical body, and I was stuck in between, not in sleep paralysis. It was still a very vivid dream I was having, but I was also very aware of my physical body having the same sensations, this breathing difficulty, and my heart rate, my heart feeling so heavy. Like I could feel the strength it was taking to just bounce up and push, okay? And in the dream, I went to this woman to ask her for help. And this woman I know in real life. And she avoided helping me at every opportunity she got. This dream seemed to last for the entirety of it, like a week. Of me doing everything I could to get help from this person. And she would just watch me suffer. And I couldn't figure out why. I saw her in the dream be so kind to everyone else except me. So I wept in the dream. I wept so much I died. And I woke up in my bed here, or I'm staying here temporarily, wherever here is for you. And I felt like I came back to life. I look really different in the mirror today. And I walked out of the room, got my stuff, and my voice is doing strange things. And I went to go get a cup of water. And it was almost the same exact experience. Very, very strange. So I thought, this isn't happening. This is something weird. I'm probably in another dream again. I'm experiencing some strange astral disturbance, or something weird is going on that I need to, ground myself and figure out where it's coming from. Where is this really odd vibration coming from? It's everywhere today. So I took the cup of coffee that was brought for me this morning, thankfully, and I went to sit in the backyard. And I saw my entire family in my heart's eye, my mind's eye, both of them. It was weird and amazing. And they were standing there, and this black cable was coming out of me from certain parts of my body, or the body here. Oh, there's so much information to share with you. I followed the black cable. It was very smoky and dark and different shades of gray that weren't gray, as if like neutral isn't really gray. Gray is like the not neutral color. It's still a trick. Gray is kind of like the color you get when white isn't. When there isn't enough white to mix into the black color to get it to become, or the white light into the black light to get the black light to become purple light. So when you don't have enough white light, the black light overpowers the white light and it becomes gray. You have to look at the colors as if they're light. Don't look at them as if they're pigments and material. They're frequencies of light, the bandwidth. So just think of them as light. I followed this dark black cable through, and it connected to every single person in my family, and they were all like something from me was going to all of them. But then it wasn't staying in them. It was going through them to this goo, this utter cloud, putty, Play-Doh goo of blackness that was just devoid of any form of light, of any form of color, whether it be white or ultraviolet or the closest black light. It had nothing. It was, you could still, like if you were standing right in the center of it, there wouldn't be silence. It's just no light. Okay? There's different forms of and ways of translating what's there. There's just no light. Do you comprehend that? It's an entire entity on its own. The opposite of what you're experiencing here. Light illuminates all this. It gives it the information. It allows the transfer. It's the conduit. It's what it is. The currents and all of it. Dark doesn't have light, but it still has information in it, which is why it's so freaking scary and frightening when you're in the dark. When you're in a room and you turn off all the lights, everything is still there, you just can't see it. Now imagine that's on a universal scale, a cosmic, massive source scale, okay? This thing was scattered all across an entire bubble wrap sheet. Yeah, bubble wrap, a whole bunch. Like it just didn't stop unrolling. And each little bubble was a planet. Now I followed this thing, the cable, through my family into this monster thingy, whatever this goo is. And then I saw these lights forming around from me, going through the cable as soon as I disconnected it from myself. These stars and different shapes were just flowing everywhere, and everywhere they went, these like little strange arcs, like sparks of light, but they were like arcing everywhere, and then there were straight beams of light, and it was amazing. They were going everywhere and going through everyone I knew, and they followed past my family. They went through the earth, up into the sky, and then sideways into like other dimensions. It was really cool. And they kind of, this sphere, everybody had to make a choice. I guess everybody made the choice to be rid of it in whatever this is. And they disconnected from it, like the cable got removed from them as soon as they were aware that what they're doing is because something is making them do it. So they got the cable out of them. This thing was suddenly blocked off from being able to drain them because these people around their belly had these little stars coming out of them. This like sun, this glowing ball of light, because the power they were getting wasn't being drained out of them, so it stayed inside of them. And this goo couldn't touch them again. Everybody was sealed in these runes. So in that moment, I was given this strange brief, like a choice. It was a very strange experience to be able to choose something I'm being shown. As if there were, it was, I don't know how to explain that. I really don't know. I had a choice within something I was seeing to choose which way to take it. So I jumped into the black goo. I just jumped into it. I went into it to see what it is. We, all of us, everyone, you, that's what it is. You can't change it. You can't really do it. You can't fight it. You can't. Not because it's you or mirror match. No, it's so beyond that. It's an actual other existence of you as your worst. Literally your worst. In a brutal world of the worst of everything. Everything. It's what you would have been without love, without light. What you would have had to do to survive, and not know that what you're doing to survive is horrible. You can't fight it. That was the main thing that was being made known to me. You either give in or you combine. And then it was as if it was a being in front of me. And there was this massive multiversal, omniversal kind of every bubble, every sheet of bubble wrap, all the little planets engulfed in this light. And then the light was supernovaing, like rippling to every other planet. And they were all pulsing the same light until they all became this massive white being. And then this massive white being connected again with this other black goo being. So it just kept going. The more light you bring, the more darkness there is. But then this part of me wondered, well, why can't I be friends with it? If people are doing these stupid things to each other in this world, why can't we harness that energy? Why can't we harness the energy of stupid behavior? People stealing from each other, mothers being abusive to children, people psychically attacking each other like knowingly, and the ones that are doing it unknowingly to be taught how to not do it. I mean, all that darkness could attract other darkness, and since it doesn't like light, it would give you all the light it finds instead of using it to fuel itself, because you, as the light, would give it all of the darkness you find within your reality. So together it would be a self-sustaining, symbiotic union of light and dark. But in order to get there, can you be wise and compassionate, accepting, and in full freedom of who you are, to know that you are simply not to cross some lines that your heart set out for you, so that the dark will have no problem seeing you as the light. You won't be gray to it. You won't be a half version of yourself tainted by darkness, or darkness kind of just grayed out in light. Be who you are, but work together. If you're gonna do something terrible, go ask for some help from someone that you know is really not terrible at all. If you're being way too kind and accepting and loving and you're just a doormat to people, go talk to someone that is really the biggest insert word you can find, and ask them flat out, hey, if you were in this situation, what would you do? I guarantee you it's the quickest and easiest route to get out of your problem. And then I guarantee you, if you mix it with your kindness, or your whichever way you fall onto the spectrum, it'll be an even better and more graceful situation, and harm will be to no one, to none. Because the harm that would have come from doing it in the dark way by itself, or the light way by itself, would be nullified. Because even light can be too self-righteous and blinding. The dark takes from you, the light gives you so much it kills you. You can't be one or the other without acknowledging that the other part is what you need to be who you are. This is why twin flame unions are so absurdly painful. You have to choose a side in yourself. You have to know who you are and stand on your, I don't want to use the terminology. So you have to stand in your own sense of the moral compass pointing north. And the things you don't care about them. Don't pretend to. If you don't like someone, don't pretend you do. If you do like someone, put the anger away. If you really hate someone, you should really go have a talk with them. If you really miss someone, you should probably be at their door having coffee with them. Think about it. The answer to all your problems is doing the exact opposite of what you've been doing, and then pulling it back to where it's grounded in normal reality for you. Oh, please don't sting me, Mr. Whatever you are. Thank you. I love you very much with your cute little bushy little tail. It's a little hornety wasp thing. There's tons of them here because of these. There's like elderberries and different flowers all over there. Oh, butterfly. My mom wanted to name me Nova. Later I found out that it means chasing butterflies. She should have named me Nova. That would have been a great name. So, people, there's a name idea for you. And if the name gets popular, please let me know. Alright, so back to the whatever this is. Talk to the dark within you. Talk to the dark within other people. Accept it for who they are and who you are. I have had to accept my twin doing some things that I really don't ever, oh my God, ever want to experience ever. I experienced something last night that made me, I don't even know how to explain what I felt last night. It was the most ecstatic bliss I've ever felt in my life, combined with the sadness, sorrow, and grief of a widow remembering the love of her life intimately. It was the most paradoxical, I don't even know how to explain this to you without just throwing words at you, because the words need to have a meaning for you to comprehend what it is I felt. I felt alive. There was no part of me that I could distinguish between pain or pleasure. None. Even my hair. I felt my hair follicles on my head. Like the length of them. My hair has gotten really long. I just cut it a few days ago and my hair is already over an inch long. Like the length of it that I had cut off, it was 2 inches. I'm already at the point where I'd have to cut it again to get the shape I wanted when I cut it 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a week ago. So what I'm telling you is what I'm experiencing. If you think you're with your twin, you're not. You're not at all. And there's no false twin and all this stuff, really, in my opinion. It's your capacity to be yourself. If you're not yourself, your twin isn't going to be you. So it's not the twin that's false, it's you. The universe is just bringing you exactly what it is you're pretending to be. If you're pretending to be a swipe left, hookup app kind of douchebag, that's what you're going to get. If you're pretending to be whatever your story is, I don't even know what I am here. But this is all I've been getting. This peace, this maddening, echoing serenity. I could easily go pick up and go to a bar and spend the rest of the night just dancing it away. But that's so not me. That was me a long time ago. But we make choices to be who we are and to do what we do as best as only we can do it. And if you're a mother that steals from her children in her own home and then pretends that she didn't, well, good on you. Keep going. Now I know exactly what you're capable of. And I love you unconditionally as well. You must learn how to love unconditionally. Your twin, your partner, they will be intimate with other people and you will feel it. They will have dinner with other people and you will feel it. They will tell other people they love them and you will feel it. People will steal from you and you will know it. People will lie and you will be aware of it. You will do the kind moral compass thing like the Polaris. And people won't appreciate it. But you have to keep doing it. Because in that vision I saw, the light that was emanating from people's chests and hearts and solar plexus area. I don't know about the chakras, by the way. It's like training wheels. I don't know what you're still doing with them. If you still have them, you should have merged everything into one and taken the power to limit and focus your energy in your own hands. And you should go watch The Last Unicorn, because chakras are basically what Mami Fortuna does to the unicorn. a false horn on a real unicorn so that the blind could see the real unicorn, because people couldn't see unicorns anymore. They stopped believing. So this old witch puts a curse on the last unicorn that was free, so that people could see her. So her gift was both. It was bittersweet. The unicorn couldn't see her own horn anymore, but everybody else finally saw the unicorn. They all believed, and she stopped believing. And the story goes on and all that. I'm not going to spoil it for you. This is barely even like a page out of the book. It's amazing. It changed my entire existence in this world, and it helped me get to become a sane person, to accept my sanity and not attempt to be something I'm not. The light within those people shone so bright they became a being. That being evolved into a sun. The sun had planets around it, the planets, the lights. There were also the counterparts of the dark version. Dark stars, dark light, black holes, dark universes. The universe we're looking at now has black space in it, empty space. What if there's one that has pure white and the stars are gold and the planets are all saturated in color instead of white dots? So you look up at the sky and you see just sparkles of color everywhere, little glitter spots. What if trees were pink instead of green? Because the plants make so much chlorophyll to block out the sunlight here, because the sun isn't the sun you're supposed to have. The sun you're supposed to have is supposed to have more of a purple glow to it. It's supposed to work together with another sun. The sun here is a friend to your planet, and it's only been acting as the sun to help your planet, because the moon lost its glow, because the earth lost half of itself, and because another planet in the sky was dimmed. This is supposed to be a tri-star galaxy, solar system, a trinity, which is why all of your stories have trinities in them. I think the last batch were Yeshua, Mary, and so messed with, so demonized, so many religious names and things. Goodness gracious. I don't like calling them those things at all, because in their original state, before they reincarnated a million billion times to get the same story out, they were known as something else. You were known as something else. Anyway, the sun, the moon, and then there was a third planet. Together they made a really full spectrum light on this planet, and everything grew into a Garden of Eden. You ever plant something under purple light? And then plant something under purple light, full spectrum light, and a kind of cool light, a cool glow of the moon, that white, I'm going to say a word here and you're going to be triggered. It's the Luciferous glow. Lucifer is not who or what you think she is. Okay? And she's far more than this planet or the glow on it. Because the planet and the glow are two separate things. The light is an actual entity. The planet is an actual entity. Together they make up a team. Lucifer is not an enemy. Neither is Yeshua. None of the religious figures are of any... It doesn't matter. I'm not getting into this. They're all your friends. Get over it. They're all you. They're all aspects of you. They're all the story that you've concocted that's so far gone from the original story that if I tried to explain it to you right now, it would take me years. But I will attempt to. I will put all the pieces together for you as best as I can, by telling you what picture you're supposed to be looking at in the first place. You have No choice in this situation. You must accept the dark. Not as yourself, not as your anything that would have any power over you. As an equal. Could you even imagine this world without shadows? For you to walk around and claim that shadows are your enemies. The only reason something stings you or bites you is if you annoy it, if you bother it, if you hurt it, if you take from it. Where are the fairies? Where's the elves? Where's the chimeras and the griffins and the dragons? They all left to another reality. A gateway was opened and they all left. Do you know why? Because the species became ignorant. You remember why? Because darkness came in the form of a tall, dark, and handsome. Messed with the first races of people here. Altered some things, messed with the memory. And then what was left was a species of people that didn't remember who they were. And the genetic capacity was so altered that they couldn't even think that they could have been more. One bubble on the bubble wrap was tainted. The one with the naive innocence and kindness that led and ruled all of it. Pure light. Heaven. Oh, Lucifer fell from the sky. Actually, no, that was from another reality, another dimension. Came to your reality to knock some sense into everybody. Parallel realities, bubble wrap, densities, dimensions, one focal point. Crystal, light, target. So make peace with your darkness, please. It's not who you are. You don't have to be afraid. Make peace with your light. It's not who you are. You don't have to be afraid. Find somebody really loving or connect with the earth. Find somebody really hateful. Connect with the earth. Hold hands. And just give it a fucking break. Because the tension between the two of you is absurd. And this is to every single soulmate pairing and everything else. From twins to otherwise. I'm really tired of it. It's really frustrating to sense the energies. And to sense how everybody wants to get along. But because one moron in the crowd says something stupid, and you can't get it out of your head, you lose so much opportunity in your life.